Though this horrific crime took place nearly 1,000 miles away, its impact is being felt right here in southern New England.
Eyewitness News reporter Susan Campbell joins us live now with local coverage.
The word I kept hearing today over and over again was horrific. For most of us, it's impossible to comprehend such violence. But today I also heard a message of hope and love. On a quiet street in Providence, a sign outside of the Bethel African Methodist Episcopal Church says, "Be still, even now, God is still in control." A few miles away at the Calvary Baptist Church, Pastor McAllister is trying to come up with the right words to share with his congregation in response to the devastating violence, an alleged hate crime at a Bible study in Charleston.
The church is not necessarily, as we see, safe from those type of situations. I think it's important to be in prayer for all families involved, not just the pastor who died and the other people who died, the community, but I think for the family of this young person, of this young man as well. His family is grieving too, and I think that, and if we respond with hate, then it just will escalate. But if we respond with love, and I know some people may say, "Oh, yeah, love, love, love," but it's so true. Love can penetrate through all of that.
I just hope Jim Vincent, the president of the Providence branch of the NAACP, has a similar message of peace and love.
We need to have more dialogue, more communications to make sure that something like that can never happen in Rhode Island. Let's start there. I'm very proud of the fact that the people in South Carolina, the church members, are urging peace and calm.
This afternoon, Rhode Island faith leaders released a joint statement saying, in part, when any sacred space is violated, all faith communities are diminished. Let our response go beyond our expression of empathy and grief. Let us recommit ourselves to the hard work of racial reconciliation and building communities of safety and love. Now, coming up new at 6, Pastor McAllister shares a firsthand experience of violence in church. Live in the control room, Susan Campbell, Eyewitness News.
Congregations across the country, including here in southern New England, are mourning this senseless mass murder. New at 6 tonight, a local pastor shares his firsthand experience of violence in the church with Eyewitness News reporter Susan Campbell.
That pastor tells me at one point he was held up at gunpoint inside a church. He says as churches continue to experience violence, it's important for faith communities to confront hate with love. The solace of a church shattered, 9 dead, a community brokenhearted.
It brought up a lot of those emotions.
Pastor Jabulani McAllister is the senior pastor at Calvary Baptist Church in Providence. Years ago, at a different church out of state, Pastor McAllister was held up at gunpoint.
Fortunately, no one was hurt, no one was killed in our situation, but we had to put some security measures in place after that. And I think it's important, even though we're about spiritual things, we have to think practically as well and realize the reality of the world we live in. Even with that, that may not be enough. And so that's why I'm saying we have to get to the deeper issue of why are we so angry as a society? Why are we doing these things and really deal with those issues?
A group of Rhode Island faith leaders also released a joint statement saying, in part, let our response go beyond our expression of empathy and grief. Let us recommit ourselves to the hard work of racial reconciliation and building communities of safety and love. Late this afternoon, the Rhode Island State Senate passed a resolution condemning the violence in South Carolina. Live in the newsroom, Susan Campbell, Eyewitness News.